after months of, or almost a year of meticulous planning, organizing, training, they got together and they were like, oh shit, we forgot to inform the Columbia campus students. Like, if you think Yahya was dialing up the Columbia campus student protesters being like, hey, by the way, heads up, we're going to do October 7, okay, as the date implies.
And we have more now on Mahmoud Khalil, who is under even more legal pressure this morning. Some of the families of hostages kidnapped by Hamas during the October 7th attack are now suing the...
Oh, this was really funny. Sorry, you are never going to get me to take this seriously, okay? This is what I wanted to talk about as well. Incredibly funny situation. So one of the hostages apparently overheard a Hamas militant while they were in captivity in the Gaza Strip say that the college campus protesters were directly linked back to them, that they were actually communicating with Columbia SJP. Okay. This is, and then the hostage went back to Israel, and now they're suing alongside, they're suing Columbia alongside a bunch of like Jewish advocacy groups that are just like pro-Israel advocacy groups. Let's be real. Okay. And it's fucking hilarious. Okay. It is one of the funniest things that has happened so far. I'm going to read a part of the litigation to you, because especially this part that all the Zionist accounts that love doing Hasbara were running with yesterday and all the way into today. Here, let's read this. On information and belief, association defendants had prior knowledge of the October 7th attack. They're talking about Columbia SJP. They're talking about Columbia Students for Justice for Palestine. Knew in advance of the October 7 attacks. The basis for that belief includes the timing of the NSJP toolkit's distribution and the signing of the Tofan Al-Aqsa statement. The basis also includes the toolkit's inclusion of the paraglider graphics. And to Columbia SJP, the basis also include a highly suggestive social media post published moments before the October 7 attack began. 3 minutes before Hamas began its attacks on October 7, Columbia SJP posted on Instagram, "We are back," and announced in the first meeting of the semester would be announced and that viewers should stay tuned. Before the post, Columbia SJP's account had been dormant for months. To which I responded with, if you think Yahya Sinwar chose to inform the Columbia SJP chapter over Hezbollah and Iran before doing October 7, he institutionalized. Being pro-Israel is literally a mental illness. I'm sorry. There is no way that I can have a normal conversation with you if this is something that you truly believe. This is a litmus test. I think no matter how pro-Israel you are, okay, you got it. When you hear this, you have to go, a little bit silly, don't you think? Maybe we're being a little bit silly. Are we being a little bit silly about this? Like I say, am Israel high as the next guy. You know what I mean? I am Israel high. Okay, but this is a bridge too far. Like this is the test of whether or not you have caused yourself irreparable brain damage, Fetterman style, or if you can still be a normal human being after all is said and done. Maybe still a genocidal human being, but at least like one that is living on this plane of existence. Okay? Because if you, once again, I'm going to repeat it, if you personally think that the Palestinian resistance groups that did not inform Iran, that did not inform Hezbollah, that did not inform the Palestinian political branch that they were going to take action on October 7, but instead, after months of, or almost a year of meticulous planning, organizing, training, they got together and they were like, oh shit, we forgot to inform the Columbia campus students. Like, if you think Yahya was dialing up the Columbia campus student protesters being like, hey, by the way, heads up, we're going to do October 7, okay, as the date implies. And I just want to make sure that you're ready to do propaganda for us. You are literally the stupidest. You are unironically doing the Jews did 9/11 shit. You're doing the Jews did 9/11 shit, but even funnier, okay? Like, it's the Nick Mullen bit. It's like, ooh, we set up this plan. We set up this plan. Now it's time to call every Jewish person to make sure that they're not there on 9/11. Now it's time for the clues. It's just, I'm sorry. It's so stupid. Oh, that's funny. That's good. This gave me a really funny laugh. Now, of course, given the state of affairs right now and how insane people have gotten, maybe they will successfully prosecute this. Who knows? I don't know. Oh my God. Just fantastic stuff. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Very cool. Oh. SJP, better intel than Mossad. Surprise, surprise. Damning evidence that Columbia Students for Justice for Palestine SJP chapter knew what Hamas was about to attack on October 7th. Balajis coined it perfectly when he called American universities woke madrasas, but now with more emphasis on madrasa. 3 minutes before Hamas began his October 7th attack, Columbia SJP posted on Instagram, "We are back," and announced in the first meeting of the semester would be announced. Then viewers should stay tuned. Before the post, Columbia SJP's account had been dormant for months. Yeah, weird how they were inactive for months before the semester started, by the way. Very suspicious that student-run Instagram accounts for student organizing were dormant for months. You know, the time period when students aren't at school. Yes! Yeah. And when they posted, "We are back," they meant, we are back to do the Intifada, comrades. We are back to do October 7. That's what they meant. And not that, like, we're back from summer break and now we are going to do activism on campus. Perhaps if you are someone who is in charge of the Students for Justice for Palestine account pre-October 7, I'm sure that that is an issue that you're very knowledgeable on and perhaps have been doing awareness campaigns on that fucking Instagram account every semester that you've gone to school. Yeah. Remember when Alicia Keys posted, "I've had my eyes on paragliding on October 7th? Oh my God, true. What did she know? What did she know? Hasan, you don't understand. The college student was using the collective "we" as in Hamas, and the 19-year-old Jewish kid from New York running the Insta page. Hope this helps. Yes. How far do you think people are before they start saying you were the mastermind behind October 7? They already have. Sex Pestiny and Dan Salty Man have unironically inferred that I am responsible for October 7 and I'm responsible for future hypothetical October 7s. They already have done that. Also, I wasn't streaming on October 7, and I stream every day. Very suspicious. I was offline. I was offline on October 7. Someone on Reddit told me you're funded by Iran. No joke. Yes. Every single person that subscribed to me is Iranian. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. I'm glad that this is what we're doing.
Anti-Israel activists and several student groups. Let's get an update from Alexis McAdams. She's live at Columbia. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Dana. So we've been watching these campus protests for months, and now we know people all across the country and around the world were watching them too, including the family of some of those hostages who were held against their will. Some of them did not make it. Now they're suing here, specifically suing Mahmoud Halil and other campus protesters, saying they are an arm of Hamas and are aiding and abetting that terrorist organization. So the new lawsuit was just filed in New York. It says the protesters on Columbia's campus are spreading hateful rhetoric, saying Mahmoud Halil and the groups that have been protesting on this Ivy League campus are all part of the Hamas propaganda arm of New York. Families of some of these hostages, okay, many who were killed at the hands of Hamas. We want to look at their pictures. They all had stories. They want their families, the families want them to be held accountable, these protesters. They don't understand why this has been going on in these college campuses. They want to push.
Bro, it is unironically the craziest thing. Like you get held at gunpoint by Hamas. You get fucking bombs rained on you by the American and the Israeli government. And then you get out of there and you're like, you know who I fucking hate? Columbia. Columbia students. Like, dude, you are insane. You're an insane person. I'm sorry. Holy fuck, dude. Like, that is truly, like, what is going on? What the fuck? Like, student activists at Columbia campus are my enemy is a wild thing.
For punishments here. More protests on campus yesterday, even though that the school cracked down. Students were masked up anyway, even though they're not supposed to be now. The Department of Education says Columbia needs to do more to get their funding back, and some teachers and students are angry.
Trump and Linda McMahon get to command universities to arrest and expel students. No! Free Mahmoud!
I have to mention this. So the crackdown on college campuses does continue as more students, Dana, are filing lawsuits, including a junior here at Columbia who just filed a lawsuit. She's from South Korea. She's a permanent resident, but she said she's not going anywhere, even though she was just arrested at a protest. Dana.
All right, Alexis McAdams, thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. ICE agents moved to deport this student after she was arrested while protesting at the Ivy League earlier this month.
And Fox 5's Linda Schmidt joins us live from Lower Manhattan with more on what just unfolded in court. Linda.
Well, the student we're talking about here tonight, her name is Yunsa Jung, and she had a major victory in federal court.
Yeah, ICE tried to fucking deport a random Korean student who's been in the United States of America since she was like 6. By the way, I'm in a group chat with my managers, and yes, you guys were right. Mainstream press is reaching out about the Elon Musk shit. Of course they are. Yeah. A judge has issued a temporary restraining order stopping the Trump administration from detaining Youngseo Chung, a 21-year-old Columbia student and a legal permanent resident who the Trump administration is trying to deport for participating in pro-Palestine protests. It is crazy. And no, Atlantic Magazine is not in the same group chat. We have better OPSEC than the American government and the principals committee. The South Korean student knows going back means she'll have to deal with the sexist Korean man. I need more historical context. Okay, stop. What is this goated QRT of AC? Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah, Mighty Keith is great. This is Phineas's friend who asked the question. Thank you. Sketching these things. Oh, hell yeah. It's a good question. I know you never would, but could you write a Twitter beef with Elon all the way to the House of Representatives? No. Everybody remember, when you subscribe, you are Iranian. When you subscribe, you are subscribing as a part of the Ayatollah. And if you gift subs, you're extra Ayatollah. Okay? Something to consider. Your editor's cooking you on Blue Sky.
Came on stream. Elon Musk at this point has been forced into buying Twitter, so I DM him a clip compilation of all the time.
What is this?
Elon Musk at this point has been forced into buying Twitter, so I DM him a clip compilation of all the times Hasan made Grimes laugh when she came on stream. This sets him on a course that will eventually lead him to ban every progressive journalist off the website, unbanning Trump and Kanye, thus allowing Kanye to announce his 2024 run as a Nazi. B tier. This one's still paying dividends that might extend out of Hasan negativity year and have major ramifications for the 2024 election, in which case I do apologize. Elon.
Think Exist and Haploids, thank you for the 10. Think Exist, thank you for the 5. Will Neff, thank you for the 50 gifted subs. The Ayatollah thanks you. The Ayatollah thanks you. And Zuril, the Iraqi in the chat, is extra Iranian and extra in support of the Ayatollah. As someone who has been in here for 61 months, he's been a 61-month Ayatollah supporter. Bro, seriously, I'm Iraqi. We don't like Iranians. Don't say that. Motherfuckers colonize our country. Fuck the Iranian regime. Extra in support of the Ayatollah specifically. Zuril basically partook in the Iranian revolution. That's what that means. If you're a 61-month subscriber, you basically did the Iranian revolution, dude. That's right. Yep. Time travelers, thank you. Haploids with 25 bones. God damn. Did you know that Phineas's uncle was Brian Baird, a U.S. rep that visited Gaza 3 times? I did not know that. Rank Control Ryan, thank you for the 5 gifted. Anyway, we have an insane situation in front of us. On the one hand, people are getting increasingly more insane about on the basis of claims like this, Trump is trying to deport a Korean American student who's been in the country since she was 7, bananas, a legal permanent resident. And here are the claims. Plaintiff John Doe was among those who fought Hamas in Gaza. Doe left his studies at Columbia Law School to serve in the Israeli military and spent 100 days fighting against Hamas. As a result of his combat experience, Those suffered mental anguish, pain, and suffering. He continues to suffer from the effects of these injuries and continues to suffer ongoing mental and emotional trauma. Oh no, you did 100 days of fucking genocide and then you came back to Colombia law and now your feelings are hurt when people say you're a war criminal, which is correct. And that's like, if your biggest repercussion for doing a fucking genocide like a Nazi stormtrooper is that your feelings get hurt when someone calls you a Nazi stormtrooper, you should be the luckiest man on the planet. You should be like, oh my God, I can't believe I got away with doing a fucking genocide as a Nazi stormtrooper. And the worst thing that happened to me is my feelings get hurt sometimes by some queer English major. That's incredible. You should go to prison. Like, am I crazy? I feel like you should be in jail. You should not be going to Colombia law. You should be going to jail. Okay? It's fucking nuts that these guys are like, you know, my feelings were fucking hurt. My feelings were hurt. Yeah, you did a genocide, dude. What the fuck do you mean? Your feelings will be hurt forever, actually. You probably will suffer severe repercussions for the horrifying crimes that you did to random civilians, dude. Yeah, there's still a side of all of us. There's a side of humanity inside of all of us that like says, hey man, maybe the mass murder that I engaged in was kind of fucked up, and that you will carry that pain with you for the rest of your fucking life. Okay? Holy shit. Plaintiff Richard Rowe paused his studies at Columbia University to return to service with the IDF following October 7. Again, within 24 hours of landing, he was deployed to Gaza envelope, where he was repeatedly shot at by Hamas terrorists. As a result of his combat experience, Rowe suffered mental anguish, pain, and suffering. He continues to suffer from the effects of these injuries and continues to suffer ongoing mental and emotional trauma. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so sad. I can't believe that you felt... I cannot believe that it hurt your feelings to do fucking Nazi terror, dude. What the fuck? On October 7th, the younger brother of plaintiff Jane Moe, a Columbia student, was deployed to Gaza, where he fought against Hamas for over a year and sustained injuries in battle. As a result, Moe has experienced severe emotional distress exacerbated by the demonstrations on Columbia's campus. He's like, I was doing a genocide, okay? And while I was in the process of doing a genocide, the fucking dudes wearing Adidas would shoot at me and kill people in my battalion because they loved smoking cigarettes in front of exposed brick, okay? They loved smoking bogues directly on the fucking window, not thinking that, you know, everyone is a 4-year-old that we can just easily butcher. Turns out some of the fucking 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds have weapons, and they shot and killed my fucking platoon commander, who was a 18-year-old rear brigadier admiral general. And it's really fucked up that these guys keep saying that what we did was wrong. The fuck? Once again, I have to repeat to people, the median age in Gaza is 18, okay? 40% of the population is under the age of 14. So, like, most of the people that they're killing are going to be children, teenagers, you know, women, elderly. That's the numbers bear itself out. When you look at the fucking casualty statistics, you look at the casualty data, and it's like 70% women, children, and the fucking elderly. Oh my God. Wait, this person didn't even go to Gaza. This person's brother was the fucking Nazi war criminal, and she feels distress. Bro, if that fucking cheese dick is in here, I'm gonna fucking lose it. You know the one I'm talking about? The one who was like, I had to get off cheese. Like I relapsed on my cheese addiction because of the fucking pro-Palestinian protesters. Like, she's in this lawsuit. This is how unserious this entire process is. It's like, you can't get secondhand PTSD, dumbass. Each of the crimes discussed above was an individual act of international terrorism and viewed collectively. All the foregoing. I'm an international terrorist, dude. I am. I am a radical international terrorist. If you think saying correctly, saying the truth about Israel's fucking conduct is international terrorism, I'm an international terrorist. Like, what are we talking about? What the fuck are you saying? How you should be embarrassed to fucking put this in a lawsuit, dude. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. These acts of international terrorism were intended to prevent Israel from normalizing its relationship with the Arab neighbors. Hamas and its puppet masters, the IRGC, are threatened by their success of the Abraham Accords our beautiful president put together. A landmark peace deal between Israel and several of its Arab neighbors, including, for example, the United Arab... Okay. That chick went to NYU, not Columbia. My bad. The Gouda, bad and ugly. New York City law student addicted to cheese went to nearly $6K per week rehab. Yo, I can't believe she did this. I can't believe she admitted this. Bro, if this happened to me, I would literally kill myself before revealing this, let alone to a news publication. I'm talking, I'm not telling this. This is my closely safeguarded secret, okay? I am never revealing this to another human being. If I had to go to cheese rehab that costs $6,000 a week over pro-Palestinian protests on campus, you wouldn't get that information out of me in a fucking CIA black site. You could clamp my nipples to a car battery and rev the fucking engine. You could literally take away my nails piece by piece, and I would not reveal this information to you. And this dumbass literally thought this is a great puff piece to put on New York Post. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, yeah. If you go to rehab, you have to lie. If you go to rehab, it's like $6,000 a week. You have to lie and be like, I relapsed. I was doing new versions of meth you've never even... I was doing crocodile, okay? My skin was fucking melting. That's why I had to go to rehab. Not cheese. No, why would you bring up cheese? What? Cheese? No one would be addicted to cheese to that degree. No, it was crocodile. It was a different kind of heroin that I concoct in my bathtub. I was doing meth heroin, not cheese. Of course, why would you bring that up? Who would ever go to rehab for cheese? Fuck you, stupid. You're anti-Semitic for suggesting that. It's crazy. Yeah. Look, a lot of people try to say like, being a Zionist to this degree is not a mental disorder, but I'm only seeing examples that prove the contrary. Okay. It kind of feels like being pro-Israel at this point is a unique and debilitating mental illness that constantly reveals itself, where you just think that like the entire world is against you. For example, stub my toe, anti-Semitism, anything and everything that actively shows the truth about Israel, well, that's extra anti-Semitism, and people that make me feel bad should go to prison. They should be deported and then sent to an El Salvadoran slave camp. That's right.
Right here behind me in Lower Manhattan, being able to block ICE from detaining her. Now, the Trump administration wants to deport Young for her involvement the beginning of this month in a pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel protest at Barnard College, which is located right across the street from Columbia University. Now, protesters took over the library at that time at Barnard, and Young was among those arrested. Yeah,
look at these scary terrorists, dude.
By the NYPD. The Trump administration wants to deport students they say are supporting Hamas, which the government has designated as a terrorist organization. But Jung and her family, they came to the U.S. from South Korea when she was 7 years old. She sued to prevent ICE from detaining her.
Ms. Chung has won. The court did the sensible thing. It is a temporary restraining order. Until further order of the court, ICE will not be able to take further steps to detain her, and we will continue to fight as hard as we need to vindicate her constitutional rights. The only reason that the government is seeking to detain a 21-year-old college junior at Columbia, high school valedictorian with no criminal priors, is simply because her viewpoint, her speech, her First Amendment protected speech, it happens to be something that they disagree with.
And by the way, Jung, like I said, she and her family came here from South Korea when she was just 7 years old. She is a legal permanent resident of the United States. Now, on top of this, of course, you know the story of Mahmoud Khalil, the former Columbia University grad student who was arrested earlier this month by ICE agents, and he is currently being held at an ICE facility in Louisiana. Back inside to you.
All right, Linda, thank you for the update on that.
At Columbia University today.
Your favorite elected rep spoke on the SJP story. Damn, I thought this was a joke, but it looks like they all got the same marching orders from AIPAC and are actually leaning into it. Dude, I'm sorry. I fucking love Israel and how desperate they are, okay? Like, Israel defenders have reached new levels of depravity to defend Israel, and it gets increasingly stupider. It is so pathetic. Like, this is the line. This is the meta. I can't wait for John Fetterman to come out and be like, "Ah, everyone knows Hamas, October 7, and the students did it. October 7. $150 million for Hasbro operations in the West, and this is the best you got? God damn, dude. This shit sucks ass, brother. You don't got no marketing guys out there? Like, what the fuck's happening? Another glaringly obvious example of fascism killing the creative part of people's brains, okay? Who are some of the funniest dudes in Hollywood? Jews. Not a single creative fucking brain capacity in Israel. They can't even put anything together. How the fuck? How is that? How is your output so bad? How is your output so fucking bad, dude? It's insane. This, dude, the whole, like, listen, dude, okay? People who say, like, Jews control the media, listen, big dog, you wouldn't watch a single television show, okay, if the pro-Israeli Jews were controlling the media. Nothing would be watchable. Everything would be like that fucking SNL skit, okay? Everything would be like the Israeli SNL. Oh, Colombia anti-Semite. It is crazy. It is crazy. Are you joking? This is crazy. Like, this is so embarrassing, dude. Like, Richie Torres, the families of the hostages are suing pro-Hamas organizations operating here in the U.S. The lawsuit contains a bombshell revelation 3 minutes before Hamas began its act. I can't believe this is unironically, this is their banger. Like, they thought this was the fucking real smoking gun, you know? We're really going to win the propaganda war with this. Don't make me play the Colombia anti-Semite video again. No one needs to see this, okay? I'm not going to torture you guys with that shit. I won't do that to you. SJP posted on Instagram, "We are back." Before 10/7 posting, Colombia SJP's account had been inactive for months, only to be suspiciously reactivated minutes before the 10/7 terror attacks. The timing seems too coincidental to be a coincidence. If there are organizations here in the U.S. that had advanced knowledge of the 10/7 attacks, which led to the murder of American citizens, the American people have a right to know the full truth. Jesus Christ, dude. What is this? Using an old picture of you? He does not do the praxis. Shut the fuck up. You think they care about how stupid it is and how insane and unbelievable it is? Or do they only care about the weakest excuse to possibly justify the next phase of rounding people up? No, they're already doing the rounding people up, regardless of whether or not Richie Torres posts this or whether or not this is like the next line of attack to be like, the Columbia students actually knew about October 7. They're going to do it regardless. I feel like there probably would have been a better way to creatively massage the narrative here instead of literally saying Columbia did Hamas, like Columbia University students did October 7. It's fucking insane. I mean, I guess I should be excited that they're just fucking horrible at doing propaganda. Yeah, if there's one group of people that knew about October 7 beforehand, it was Israel, okay? They were informed by the Egyptian authorities over and over again, and also even by Unit 8200, where they just kept saying like, hey, they're fucking, I don't know, training on paragliders? That's kind of weird. And Israel was like, no, that's fine. No, they're just hobbyists. It's cool, I think. Let's move more units to the West Bank. I can't tell if the website is broken or always, or Elon turned off replies since you can't load the replies on the mega viral Ubisoft Hasan defense. Wait, what do you mean?